And Education Minister Myron Walwyn said the standard of school administration in the Virgin Islands is not where it should be. Minister Walwyn was addressing the opening of a 2-week educational leadership training for principals in public and private primary and secondary schools. The training, being conducted by the National College for Educational Leadership, or NCEL of Jamaica, involves on-the-job assessment over 8 months.
You must be leaders who create a morale-boosting atmosphere. You must be leaders who create links with your communities. You must be leaders who are effective administrators, who with their staff create a vision and develop a plan to realize that vision. Why am I saying all of this? I'm saying this because if we are honest with ourselves, we are not where we ought to be. Therefore, we have teamed with NCEL to ensure that our principals are all on the same page. We want to bring parity across all our schools, not each one doing his or her own thing according to what he or she thinks is the correct way to go. As you complete this program over the period of 8 months, I'm looking forward to seeing a change in the leadership of our schools as demonstrated by improved documentation and reporting, improved school planning, improved engagement of parents and the wider community, and a greater commitment to improving the performance of our weakest students. We must improve our focus on our weakest performers and those who have behavioral and other challenges, because they too are valuable resources which are in our care for instruction and nurturing. All principals will be expected to complete the program, and going forward, we will expect all principals and prospective principals to complete this program or a similar program approved by the ministry in order to take up a leadership position in our schools going forward.
The training exercise signals the beginning of a licensing regime for all teachers in the local education system, starting with principals.
You know as well as I do that the research has shown over and over again that successful schools have strong leaders. Over the years, in many cases, we promoted good teachers to school principals. And while this may be well-intentioned, there is a fundamental difference between being a good teacher and being a good school administrator and leader. The main difference is training and professional development. The commencement of this exercise this morning signals the beginning of our licensing regime for all teachers in our education system, but we are starting first with your principals. As educators, you know that lifelong learning is essential. You must keep abreast of the changes in education, and you must be in a position to take your staff and by extension your students to the next level. The most effective school leaders are therefore those who make time for their personal and professional growth and development. We cannot afford to leave your development to chance, because the growth of our economy and the security of the quality of life that we have grown accustomed to are inextricably linked to the quality of education that we provide to the future leaders of our country.
The scope of training for educators goes beyond principals. It focuses on 7 areas along with other training sessions. And these include health and family life education, training for newly qualified teachers, smartboard technology, and certification for physical education teachers. Technical teachers at Elmore Stout High School and the Virgin Islands School of Technical Studies will receive certification in the teaching of technical subjects. Sessions for specific cohorts of teaching fraternity will also be held, and they include differentiated instruction, balancing home and work as a busy professional, stress management, developing professional communities, and tackling the constraints of ethical issues of teaching. Another step taken to create parity across all schools is the introduction of standards-based curriculum in secondary schools beginning this 2014-2015 academic school year. Standardized lesson plans for each subject will also be created.